I got one thing I said I wanted to do. Let me see if I can do it real quick. Oh, it's off already. Perfect. All right, should be good. Hello, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Welcome. Come in, come in. If you're here, let me know. Let me know. I hope everybody is having an amazing day. You know me. I'm making my business to do such. So come in, get comfortable. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, you get a hand clap. I'm so proud of you. Continue on your process. I want to wait a minute or two before we get started so I can allow for some people to come in. If you're new, please let me know who you are, where you're from. Okay. If you have any questions at any point, please feel free to ask. This is what I'm here for. Don't be shy. This is week 4. So if you miss weeks 1, 2, and 3, go back. Go back and you can catch them on my channel. Okay. So we'll wait a few more seconds. I should have bought my drink. Mhm, mhm. I'm so excited. Like, I'm so excited. I'm always excited, but I'm really excited about today. All right. Well, I see one person is in here. Who are you? Let me know who you are. Hello, how are you doing, Grand Rising? I'm glad that you're here. Welcome. So today is week 4 of our stay method framework. We are in week 4, which means we are halfway through. I absolutely hope that this teachings have been speaking into your spirit. Hey, Aora. Hey, Miriam. Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. Please let me know if you guys can hear me well. If the music is too loud, please let me know so I can turn it down. I wanted to have a little vibe in the background today because today we're going to be talking about regulating the nervous system. Okay. You know me. If you find yourself on here, get your pen and get your paper, right? You're going to need to take notes. And again, in order for you to get the full meat and potatoes out of these teachings, you're going to need to get your copy of your stay method workbook. Okay, yes, we go through it, but I don't go through it with you in its entirety because this is what a self-leadership thing, right? And so part of your responsibility to yourself is going to be to get your workbook so you can fully work through these processes in their entirety. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump into today's lesson. Today, we're going to be talking about regulating your nervous system, okay? Calming your inner landscape. Your emotions are not just mental experiences, they are deeply embodied. When your nervous system is overwhelmed, your body enters a state of fight or flight or freeze, intensifying emotional reactions and making rational thought difficult. This week, you will learn practical techniques to regulate your nervous system, bringing your body back to a state of calm. Okay? By calming the body, you create the psychological space for your mind to respond more clearly, intentionally, and effectively. This is the whole point of this journey, right? This what the S.T.A.Y method is about is emotion, I'm sorry, stabilizing your emotions. I like your ski style. Ooh, what does that mean? Miriam, but look, I like yours too. I don't know what that means, but I love all of yours too. So, we're going to talk about first what the nervous system is, okay? Your nervous system is your body's command center. Remember, I talk to you about it all the time, that inter GPS system, okay? It is composed of the brain, the spinal cord, and nerves. It relays electrical signals that control everything from movement and senses to heartbeat and emotions. It dictates your automatic response to fight or flight, that stress response, and your rest and digest, which is your calm state, which is the state we want to be operating out of, okay? The majority of our time, our existence, okay? Now, last week we touched on a few things, and you're going to be able to apply those same techniques here when it comes to regulating in your triggers. Right, a part of that regulation system is your nervous system. Right, your triggers go through your nervous system. This is your command system. So, a few of those things that we talked about last week you're going to be able to apply those here when it comes to regulating your nervous system, okay? The first one is going to be grounding. Grounding is great for regulating your nervous system. That breath work we talked about, that 5 4 3 2 1 exercise, which is what? 5 things you can see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can touch, and so on and so forth. That is going to be one of them. Another one is going to be that mindfulness and body scan meditation, which is you going through your body from head to toe, going through each area without judgment. And when you come to an area in your body that you feel tension in, this is the area I want you to focus in on, okay? Because that is where your body is storing whatever emotion that it is that you are going through, have gone through, okay? So, lean into last week's few exercises from last week, okay? When you find yourself in this space of your nervous system getting out of whack. Now, another thing that you can absolutely do to regulate your nervous system is going to be movement. Get outside, spend time in nature, okay? Scents like aromatherapy. I talk to you about these kinds of things all the time. Aromatherapy is great for regulating your nervous system. You see this room in here, my room? This room is intentional. Everything about this room regulates my nervous system, okay? Calm music that regulates your nervous system. You can't smell it in here right now, but it absolutely smells amazing. That candle you see burning, it is a scent that regulates my nervous system. You see these lights in here? Those regulate my nervous system. You see that waterfall? If I want to release, what do? I plug up that waterfall here and regulate my nervous system. Okay? Your nervous system is absolutely going to be detrimental to your healing and the stabilizing of your emotions, okay? That 5 4 3 2 1 method is, I believe it is 5 things you can. It's let me make sure I give it to you right. Hold on. Give me a second because I don't want to mess you up. Let's see. It is 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste, okay? And you can always go back in last week's video if you missed it and catch up on a few of those things, okay? But that is absolutely going to be great. And remember that breath work, your breath work is always going to help ground you and center you immediately. Remember, you are in control. You just have to learn how to use these things that God, that Spirit gave us to keep your system in regulation, to keep your mind, your heart, and your soul space in alignment. Okay. So pull from these things. Remember, you have to get used to moving in this space. You want to keep yourself out of the reactions of the subconscious part of your program and consciously tap in so you can begin to stabilize in your emotions and break yourself out of this loop that you were operating in. Okay, that emotional roller coaster that you're constantly on, the ups and downs, the highs and lows of it all. Okay, now let's go a little deeper into this, because there's a difference between regulating your nervous system from time to time, meaning that you're stable, but every now and then there's going to be a situation or a person, whatever it may be, to throw your nervous system out of whack. And so this is where these techniques that we're talking about and that I give you are going to come into play. Okay? But there is a difference between a D, I'm sorry, a dysregulated nervous system and a regular nervous system, because now operating out of a dysregulated nervous system is a little heavier, okay? Because this presents not only physical symptoms, but emotional and cognitive symptoms as well, okay? I know for me personally, I always tell you about me and my journey. Before my awakening, before I got to the place and the space that I am today, I absolutely was operating out of a dysregulated nervous system. My nervous system was out of whack. I didn't know it then because I wasn't privy to my nervous system. I had no understanding of my systems. And so when you're not aware of this, you call the dysregulation of your system life and circumstance and happenstances. But that is not the case at all, because you absolutely have control to go in and regulate your system. You regulate your system. This allows you to not only get into alignment, but to begin to get your life in order. Okay, so let's talk about a few signs of a dysregulated nervous system. Your nervous system can show you it's dysregulated in a few different ways. I'm sorry, a few different ways. So you want to pay close attention to your body and emotions, as they could be giving you important clues. Now, I want you to pay attention to this part, because the things that we're going to talk about in this dysregulated nervous system is also going to present as other things in our lives. Okay, so I want you to pay attention to see if you catch on to this here. Now, some physical symptoms that you may endure dealing with a dysregulated nervous system are going to be chronic fatigue, frequent headaches or migraines, digestive issues, and sleep disturbances. Okay. Me personally, I experienced all of the 4 of these symptoms. That sleep disturbance, insomnia, being restless, staying up all night, not being able to go to sleep. When you lay down, that mind, those thoughts running, not being able to control your thoughts. Okay, that digestive issues, that bloatedness of that belly, The fact that I know for me, I had horrible digestive issues. It's like my food wasn't digesting properly. I didn't know what it was, but that's a sign of a dysregulated nervous system, okay? Being tired all the time, having absolutely no energy and nowhere to pull anything from, and no explanation for it, this is a sign that your nervous system is out of whack, okay? A few emotional symptoms to look out for: anxiety. That anxiety, and now what I always tell you about anxiety, a lot of times, well, not a lot of the times, but most of the time, when you feel anxiety, you feel like something is wrong, something is going on, and what happens? You start bracing. Now you're putting out that nervous, anxious energy. And what do we know? Where energy goes, energy flows, right? So if your nervous system is dysregulated, you are going to be attracting dysregulated experiences into your life. Okay? Oh, you ate some ginger today? That's good. I like to do the ginger shots. I dare not eat a whole piece. I don't know if I got the courage to do that. Isn't it hot? It's spicy, right? Okay, so that constant worry, fear, hypervigilance is often accompanied with a racing heartbeat. That is a physical symptom of a dysregulated um, nervous system here. Feelings of depression, hopelessness, that shutdown state when you just shut down, stop moving, stop doing. That is a sign of that your nervous system is dysregulated. Irritability, anger outbursts, right? Let's go a little deeper. Cognitive symptoms, brain fog and confusion, trouble concentrating or making decisions, memory problems, racing thoughts or overthinking that won't shut off. These are all signs of your nervous system being irregulated, dysregulated. I'm sorry. And I'm pointing these things out to you because I know a number of these things on this list. How many people go and seek medical attention for these things? How many people are on medication right now because of things on this list? Anxiety. I told you I was diagnosed as anxious here, PTSD, bipolar here. No. A lot of these things are, again, your nervous system being out of whack here. And instead of us going in and doing the work that we need to be doing holistically, right, organically, you run to the people and now you're taking a whole crap load of medications for depression, anxiety, and this and that. And no, absolutely not. Your soul, your body has the ability to heal these things. Okay, so it's all about you and how much you're able to endure, right? Because a part of regulating your system is going to be what? What do we know about emotions? Emotions dwell. Emotions come from something that is dwelling deeper in your system that you may not yet have been able to identify. And maybe you have been able to identify it, but the thought of it brings too much pain, too much feelings to your system. And so what happens? You block it out, right? These are your shadows, the things dwelling in your shadows. One thing that I want you to understand, and please hear me when I say this, anything that you have gone through in your life is absolutely a part of your experience. It does not make you less than. The more you know, the more you grow. So instead of running from these shadows and allowing them to continue to manipulate and control your life and determine what your future is going to look like because you don't want to go into them, I need you to understand that in your shadows, that is where your power lies, my love. That is where your strength comes from. But you have to be able to transmute and alchemize these energies that lie there in that dormant state. Okay, this is your this is your power here. These things have already happened. They can no longer should no longer be able to hold you in any emotional state. The only way they can continue to hurt you is if you allow them to by continually to evade them, to not face them. You got to understand these things they hurt. I know they're going to hurt for a minute and this is why you're avoiding them, but key word, minute, only for a second. Okay? Hey dupe, who is this? Dup ZYT. Hey baby, welcome Grand Rising. Thank you. It took me forever to make that silly. I said all the time, I would never do it again. The only way I would ever do that again is if like my grandkids wanted me to do it for them in their house, in their room, or whatever the situation may be. I never do it again. But it's part of my look. It's part of my regulating of my nervous system. I make this room on purpose because look, you come in here and you got the sky, you got a tree, a piece of the outside. Remember, the floor used to be green at first because it was, for me, it was the grass. Your environment is a big part of your healing experience, okay? Do PZ. Did I say it right? Because you know I will slither a name, baby. I'm not good at these names, and y'all in this whole new generation, you know, y'all have all these extravagant, beautiful things going on, all these acronyms and things. I'm old. Okay. So if I mess it up, I don't even mean it. I don't even mean it. I absolutely love it, if anything. Okay. So let me go back a little bit because like I was just saying, I've been diagnosed. I tell you this all the time. I was on medications and all kinds of stuff when the people had me thinking PTSD and anxiety and oh god, and no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is where again your belief comes in. Jesus, God said, I am. Remember, I am is you are. So you have the power to heal anything that is residing in your vessel at this moment, currently. It's all about your belief, though, right? It's all about your belief. Yes, indeed. It looks super great. I really love the corner as well. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I normally have my waterfall on, but a lot of times it's too loud. But I was thinking about cutting it on today so we could do look a little regulation of the nervous system here. But I didn't feel it. I need to put some more water in it. Hey baby, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. You missed the vibe session on Friday. Well, I was gonna say Friday, but I really did it on Saturday. But look, I was still here. How you doing, my love? Okay, so again, be mindful of these things. Okay, this is your life. Stop allowing the past and things that have happened and that is currently happening determine your future. At some point, you got to tap in here and get yourself absolutely into alignment. And so, yes, it's going to take going through all your systems. You got more than one system. We just talking about the nervous system today, but you have several systems. Okay. Oh, thank you, baby. I appreciate you. The topic today is regulating your nervous system. Let's talk about it. Do y'all know how to regulate your nervous system? Do you know what your nervous system is? Now, like I said, a lot of these things, and it's not just with, let's go a little bit deeper because it's not just with, you see, talking about hypothyroidism as a kid. This is what we also got to talk about right quick because disease, what all disease comes from something underlining in the body that has not been addressed. Okay, some type of emotional situation here. Okay, I'm sorry, but we have to understand these things here. So a lot of the things that we go through, right, that we endure or that we will endure, we've absolutely had a hand to play in. And whether you want to take accountability or responsibility for that, that's on you. But remember, the only person you're holding back by not doing so is you. Okay. I'll tell you who's thinking about last Friday. Yeah, I'm just fine relaxing. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Well, like I said, we didn't get on Friday. I've been on grandma duty here for about a week now. Still have my grandbaby here with me. So I actually did it on Saturday and it was really quick. It wasn't normally how we normally do because normally, we go in. So it was just a quick little, right, me passing through because I absolutely said that I was, and this is me being intentional, keeping our word. We're trying to be really consistent now on our channel and with our soul tribe. And so our word is our bond. It's all that we have, right? So, but that's okay that you missed it. You can go back and watch it. You can go back and catch it. It was cute though. We had a good time. Okay, now, like I was saying, I want to go a little deeper here with this nervous system thing because it's not only about the nervous system, right? There are several things that life has presented in certain people. Everybody doesn't go through the same things, but like when it comes to mental illness and things like this of this nature, a lot of these things, I'm sorry, and I'm not a doctor. You're right, I'm not. I'm only speaking from experience, but I know absolutely a lot of these things are misdiagnosed. And why is that? Because it's part of Pharma America. They want to give you a pill for something and make you think that you are something. The more you think that you are something and you cannot do something, what is going to happen? You are not even going to attempt to try. So now that your nervous system is out of whack and you're feeling chronic fatigue, right? And you're going through that shutdown, right? Feeling that shutdown and you're feeling that, let me go back here because don't get me started, God, that brain fog, right? And the sleep disturbances and not wanting to move and all these things. Okay, so now you're just diagnosed as clinically depressed and are taking 5 6 medications when you could have just went outside, put your feet in the ground. You see what I'm saying? Lit a candle. I mean, it might sound crazy to you, but it's not. It's part of the distraction, it's part of the program. And unless you wake up, you get stuck in this system, in this loop, in the program. That's what it's for. And we don't even bother to question these things. You just go with them because the doctor said or because somebody said. No, bullshit. No, I'm sorry. I'm so sick of it. No, no, no. This is your life. This is your body. This is your vessel. Ask questions. If something doesn't make sense to you, question it. If something doesn't feel good to you, question it. If something doesn't look good to you, question it. If it doesn't smell good, taste good, question it. That's the problem now. You're not asking any questions. Not only that, where's the direction coming from? Oh God, I'm finna go into another place here. Oh God, you got the blind leading the blind here. So you just gonna allow anything anybody says to you, speaks over you, and take it? Absolutely not. This is the problem now. You running off of other people's thoughts, ideas, and opinions of you. You need validation. You need approval. You need permission from other people to determine how you feel and think about yourself. Absolutely not. No. No. Start questioning your system. Start questioning the program. Remember, the more complicated your life has looked, the more things that you have been through, the more powerful you are. And every time you get close to a breakthrough, every time you get close to becoming, every time you get close to getting into alignment, guess what's going to happen? Something catastrophic is going to happen in your life. There's going to be some type of foreign chaos in one shape, form, or another to throw you off course. This is why we're sitting here now doing this class for this emotional stability. So when these things come into your life, instead of them allowing them to throw you off course, they can now be a catalyst to propel you. But you cannot allow that to happen if you're not emotionally stable. Because whenever something happens outside of you, what happens? It controls the whole narrative of your life. And now the breakthrough that you were 10 feet from is now 10 years away because you've reverted back to that old you, to that old version, to that old place, the old people, the old things, because it's comfortable, because you know how to navigate there, because you don't have to feel anything there. You're not responsible for anything there. Things just happen to you there. Don't nothing happen for you, just things happen to you. You're stuck in victim mode, you're stuck in trauma mode, you're stuck in survival mode. No, absolutely not. By the way, I want to say hello to you, honey. I have to sleep. It's very late here in Norway tomorrow. I have to get up early. Have an amazing night, my love. Have the best dreams. Oh my God, I've been having the most best vivid dreams here these past few days. Oh my God. Look, now I'm finna go. You see, look, ADHD. ADHD. They said I got that too. You don't need no pill. Okay, these are your powers. These are your superpowers. This is where your power lies again. That addiction, I told you, I used to be addicted. You know that to all kind of things here up under the sun, God. That is your power. That overthinking, that OCD, that those are superpowers if you can transmute that energy. Because right now they're weaknesses because you don't have control over them. You've not alchemized and transmuted that energy. And so the way your energy is being exerted when it comes to these different emotions and different spaces and places in you, they're taking energy from you instead of putting energy into you. I know that was probably a lot, but you'll get it here in a minute. Okay? You got to transmute and alchemize these energies. That is a part of your becoming, it is a part of your shaping, it is a part of your molding. Okay? So remember, pull from those things we talked about last week when it comes to regulating that nervous system. But I'm going to give you a few more quick ones here, okay? Now, I've already told you if at any time, anything that we get on here, we talk about, if you find yourself in a space that is too heavy, you cannot navigate it on your own, then you go and get the professional help that you absolutely need, my love, to get you through these spaces, okay? That's okay. Remember, this is a no judgment zone. This is your life. This is you being open, honest, transparent, and vulnerable with yourself. This is you saving yourself. There's no right or wrong way to do this here. Okay? So the first thing is I want you to start practicing gentle movement, okay? This helps you regulate your body system, okay? With the stretching and the breath control. This is, you moving around, it's moving that trapped energy out. Remember, emotions are stored. They're built up over time, and these are energies, and they need to be released. If they're not released out, if negative energies are not released out, then they are going to be released inside of your system. Again, this is where this ease arrives, my love. This ease. This not ease, feeling easy, not feeling good here. That's what this ease is. Okay, so start moving that body around. It doesn't have to be nothing crazy. Remember, whenever you're gonna get into the space of doing these things, that old self, that old vibration, that old negative part of you is not going to want to do these things. You're absolutely going to hit that wall of resistance. So don't try to do too much to where it's unattainable and you just crash out. Ain't that what y'all call it? Crash out. You don't even try. You just before you've even gotten there. Okay, so some get some movement in there somewhere. And like I said, when you find a part of your body, when you are doing the movement, right? When you're doing the mindfulness, body scans, meditations, and things of this nature, whenever you feel tension somewhere in a certain area of your body, spend a more little time in that space, okay? Concentrate on that chakra where that part of your body is. But you want to actually release that tension in that space, okay? This journey is easy, it's breezy, it's not rushing. Okay, it's not moving fast. Okay, this is a lifestyle change. There's no quick gratification in all these things. Okay, this is who you are becoming. Take your time. So, a somatic experiencing technique you can play with is paying attention to where you feel stress. Well, I just said this stress in your body and release it by shaking or releasing your muscles. Grounding exercises, placing your feet on the floor, get outside on that ground and allow or use your five senses, okay, to get you out of that racing mind and back into your body. Oh, I'm just thinking about it. One of my hardest things to deal with, honestly, was that overthinking. Ugh, you talk about sleep. See, this is what I'm just talking about right now. You talk about sleep disruptions. I remember one time I took myself to the hospital because I had not slept in 7 freaking days. My mind would not shut off. After a while of that your mind running, you absolutely begin to feel like you are going crazy, like you're losing your mind. So, again, I speak from experience. Okay. I remember the first time I had a panic attack. I was sitting there. This was when I was, well, way back when, living in this worldly life. I'll never forget it. I was sitting at home watching the BET Awards. And out of nowhere, my heart just started pounding. I felt like a weight on my chest. It felt like I couldn't breathe. I felt like I was about to die. I'll never forget the day. And I'm trying not to panic because I don't want to freak out my kids or anybody. I had just come home from prison. I had probably been home from prison like what? Maybe like a year or so. So this is all that energy. Remember, energy has to be released. I don't know anything about this, so I'm carrying around all kind of energies. Well, and what happens? I'm sitting there minding my business, like I said, and going to a freaking panic attack. It took everything out of me not to call 911, God. I thought my life was over. This out of nowhere. Oh God, talk about that hopelessness and worthlessness, that feeling down and out, honey. I'm talking about a depression so bad. Did not want to move, talk, walk, clean, but you don't want to do anything. I've been there. I've been in it. Okay? So I understand. I'm not gonna say I know how you feel because I your feelings are not gonna be the same as mine, but I understand. I've absolutely been there. So again, when I sit here and tell you you absolutely can get out, you absolutely can. It's possible, but you have to make yourself your business. You have to make yourself your priority. You have to cut off all that outside. You have to cut off the things that are not serving you. Is it going to be easy? No, it's absolutely not. That's why you always hear me talk about a titration, that titration system. You know, I've been in the medical field over 20 years, and a way that we get people off of things, especially medications, is a titration system, because to even stop on a medication immediately like that to someone's body, there's going to be consequences and repercussions of it. Why? Because the body has become dependent on that substance for whatever reason that it is. And unfortunately, this is why we're talking about it here now. You probably didn't need the medication if you could have just figured out, God, how to regulate your nervous system. But how can we know these things if we don't take the time to educate ourselves, right, and gain this knowledge and wisdom? So again, it's okay, but the fact that you're here now is all that matters. Okay? Another thing is going to be your nutrition and hydration. Pay attention to your body, pay attention to your vessel. This is the only one that we have. And I'm gonna tell you what, I know I didn't took mine through there. I know I have abused her too. And again, there's consequences for these actions, the things that we do to ourselves. Right? So just as much time as you took tearing it down, we now have to invest that time into building our vessels back up, and it absolutely can be done. Okay, but it has to be intentional. It has to be, you have to be aware, you have to be conscious, you have to be mindful, you have to be present. Okay, so your nutrition and hydration, pay attention to those things. Make sure you're getting the appropriate amount of sleep and rest that you need. Sometimes your body requires rest. It doesn't mean sleep. Sometimes I just lay. I'm not doing anything. I'm not tired, but my body is what my body wants to do. And I don't like wasting time. So I'll use that time to meditate, visualize, listen to a ebook, something, but allow your body that proper rest. I know for me, oh God, before I came into this space here, listen, I was working 3 jobs. I didn't know if I was coming or going. I never knew what day it was. Hell, where I was, really did damn sure didn't know who I was. That's why I was on the hamster wheel the way that I was on it then. Constantly rushing, multitasking, doing, moving fast, just constantly. That's all I did. Every day, all day. It's a shit show. So rest. Allow your body that time to rest. I'm gonna tell you now, when you suck in that program, when you suck in that system, unfortunately, you feel like you have to constantly be doing something. And I'm gonna tell you now, that's a part of the distraction, because there's most of the time you're busy and you're not doing absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. You're not accomplishing anything. But the fact that you're moving because you've been programmed to think that you have to work hard, you think you doing something. I'm gonna tell you now, you're not doing nothing but exerting your time and your energy. Stop it. Learn to be still. And the stillness is where you connect to God, and the stillness is where you get your downloads and your communication. It is in the being. Okay. And last but not least, It's not one of my favorites, so I'm not going to try to sell it to you like it is, because I am so into my solitude and protecting my energy. And so I don't do a lot of this one, but social support and connection. Spend time around people who make you feel calm, who make you feel uplifted, who give you positivity, who pour into you, who feed your soul, who feed your spirit. Okay? It says human connection is a powerful regulator of the nervous system, but I'm not going to say human connection. I'm going to say spiritual connection, because I don't associate with being a human being at all. I am not a human being. I'm a spiritual being having a human experience, and there is a big difference. So when it comes to human beings, I don't relate. Okay, so even with animals, spend time with animals. Listen, you know me, I love a good mother nature. I love a good mother nature here. I post videos all the time. I love, and this is why I spend time. I like purity. Okay, I need my interactions to be pure. And well, unfortunately, with these humans and this distraction out here, they don't have your best intentions in mind. And so I am not so quick to exchange energies of such. So my solitude, my peace is everything to me. And I am not willing to abrupt it for anyone or anything. At this point in my life, it is a non negotiable. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell you now, I have a great time. She has a great time by herself. Okay. What? It is nothing. Well, don't get me started. She has a great time by herself, okay? And there's not much that I cannot do by myself, for myself, or with myself. Okay, that's how you know. Let me tell you, when you get right here in this space, this is how you know you made it here. This is what self mastery looks like. You're no longer manipulated and controlled by outside forces, baby. This is an inner standing. Okay. So I love you. I'm so glad that you all were here. Oh, wait a minute. We're not done. We're not done. I was about to jump off here. Hold on. Mm-mm. But I'm glad that you were here, and I enjoyed each and every one of you. And I'm gonna see you next week. But listen, before we go, let me give you two things. I'm gonna give you your self-leadership reflection and your affirmation. Now, I want you to pay attention to what physical sensations are most common for you when you are feeling overwhelmed or highly emotional. And how does a regulated nervous system feel different from an unregulated one? So that's a two-part right there, okay? And then your affirmation for the week is, I have the power to calm my nervous system. If you're ready to get your book, I got it. Drop your email down low below. Let me know so I can make sure that you get your copy. I got you. I love you. I'm gonna see you next week. And remember, until then, the next time I see you, stay with yourself.